Hi guys, it's Ayshxo here again. Welcome back to my channel. I'd like to thank all the new subscribers. Welcome. And for all of you that keep coming back, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. All my social media links are down below in the description bar here on YouTube. What can I say? It's been a while since I've spoken to you guys. It wasn't meant to be this way, but it is what it is. There have been some developments with my dad's operation post-op, so just some of the post-op symptoms, so that's why I haven't recorded for a while, and hence I'm wearing my glasses because some days I just can't be bothered putting on my contacts early in the morning. So he is okay. Thanks for those who have sent their well wishes. I really do appreciate it. I always feel like I'm in a rush when I'm speaking to you guys. I don't know why I do it, but I do. But yeah, so life has been hectic with Dad and then with work. So I haven't done much stitching, cross stitching. I have done a lot of, well, as much knitting as I can when you're in a waiting room or, you know, in emergency or whatever, waiting to get my dad checked out. And in fact, because I used my GPNs for my hexie puffs, one day my sister who was with me, she's going, can you just like cast on something and so I can just knit to keep me occupied? And it wasn't to make anything, it was just to keep her hands occupied. And it's really so true that things like cross stitch or knitting or crochet can be quite calming and sometimes just occupy your mind when you need it. So I thought that was just so fun to see her knit, and I'm just going, how do you knit that way? And she's come, Mum taught me. I'm going, but I don't knit that way. She can teach me that way. But anyway, so just been busy with all of that stuff. So bit of housekeeping, just to remind you that the Finish Your Frog at Cal will still be on, I think it's for another 11 days. Yes, 11 days. It'll finish on April the 15th. So just finish any project that you have, and I'm multi-craftual, so go ahead if you've got a quilt top that you need to finish, or, you know, cross stitch or crochet, go for it. And of course knitting, or if you want to frog it, go for it as well. I've actually frogged the Convergent shawl that I showed you a couple of episodes ago because I wasn't happy with the plum colour that I was using in it. So I have frogged that one as well. So, and it just feels so cathartic to frog something that, I mean, knitting is supposed to be fun. Any hobby is supposed to be enjoyable. So why continue on with something that you're actually not enjoying? Because it's supposed to be a hobby. If it's work, yes, you finish it. It's your job. That's what you do. You might not like all the tasks, but you need to complete them because that's what you're getting paid for. But when it comes to a hobby, just do what you enjoy doing. I think Denise, DG White, she had something on, she posted some socks and she's going, what should I do? And I've gone, frog it. And honestly, any of you who post in that thread ask me whether you should finish or frog it, I'm going to say frog it. Seriously, I'm going to say it, because if it's not making you happy, let it go, as the song goes. Okay, so I do have some finished items, thankfully. What shall I start with? Okay, firstly I'll start with my dad's socks. I frogged them for the Finish Your Frog at Cal, and then I restarted and I finished them. These socks I started in September last year for Father's Day. Father's Day is in September in Australia, and they just weren't right, and I just finally worked out that I'm better off doing a top-down sock, which I'm not a big fan of, instead of a toe-up sock. So I finally finished them. No pattern, just a vanilla pair of socks with a slip stitch heel. But this yarn is a worsted weight yarn. It's lana grossa in the... See, I've got notes, but I have no idea where. I've been writing them as I go along, but I actually can't find my notebook because I just came home and I thought I really need to record today, otherwise I'm not going to record. So these were lana grossa in the 8, or 8. No, I can't remember what it was. It's Sportwolle, but obviously I've written it down here by now, but they're vanilla and they go up to his knees. I think I posted on the Instagram and I said, thankfully, my dad wanted neat socks, but thankfully I love him and also he's got small feet. So, so that helps with the knee-high length of his socks. So they're nice and I can finally give it to him because I've shown you guys, which will help with some of the post-op stuff. So he's got numbness in his legs, so hopefully that'll keep him warm. The next pair of socks is a pair of socks that I did. It's been in my queue for ages because a lot of Harry Potter items are in my queue for ages, and these were, I did them as part of the Harry Potter cal for Inside Number 23. If you haven't checked out our podcast, well, why haven't you? But so these are my, well, they're called the Bellatrix socks. So, and they're a free pattern on Ravelry. But as you can see, the pattern is done by yarn overs. So you know, yarn over once, twice, 3 times, and then you reduce. And I did these toe up. I think I started with 56 and then I eventually increased to 64 as I went up the leg and around the arch. I'm pretty sure that's what I did. So I had to modify the pattern bit here. Fish Lips Kiss Heel, like I always do. And the yarn is a one-of-a-kind yarn from Miss Click Clack. But so it's got like greys and teal and pink and purpley. I just love how they came out. It looks so, and this is just to prove that I do have the second pair. I just love this yarn. I love her bases. I love the fact that she's an Aussie dyer and I can go and see her. I actually have purchased a whole bunch of stuff that I need to show you. But yeah, so that's one pair of socks. The second pair of socks I completed, and excuse me, just some top down. Again, 2 at a time. I did the Bellatrix 2 at a time, and I did these socks 2 at a time. And they're just in the Nick Picks Felici in the Time Traveller colourway. And then I used, I think, Stroll's Dusk as the toe and heel. Again, the second sock. I did them 2 at a time. They're not quite matching, but it doesn't worry me about that. I just enjoy the stripes, and I just like that sort of a Doctor Who reference. Interesting fact about Doctor Who and me. I love anything time travel. Time travel is my sci-fi genre. I absolutely love it. I love the idea of time travel. Yes, if I could time travel, I would time travel. I know some time travel theorists say you can't time travel in your own, in your own life, but I would, and just change billion stuff that I've done and said in the past. But when I was younger, up until a few years ago, I could not stand Doctor Who. That was the only time travel thing that I could not stand. If people would say, oh, well, you like time travel as a genre, obviously you're a fan of Doctor Who, and I would say, no, I can't stand it. As soon as I hear that music, the hair on the back of my neck goes up, and I just want to hurl. And the reason for that is when I was younger, I had friends who were much older than me, and I would go over to their house and I would want to play. But they wanted to watch Doctor Who, and it used to irritate me as a 5-year-old or 6-year-old. It used to drive me bananas that they didn't want to play and want to watch Doctor Who. So I used to want to thump them. So I just had this deep, real dislike for anything Doctor Who. And in fact, I still can't stand Daleks. Daleks as a alien race give me the irrits. I can't stand it. Every time I hear exterminate, I just want to punch the TV screen. But anyway, long story short, well, it's not long, long story long, I suppose. I finally gave in and I started watching the Doctor Who episodes, obviously from Doctor Who number 9. Doctor number 9, love them. I love Doctor number 9, 10, 11, 12. Love them, love them, love them. Will not ever watch any of the episodes pre-Doctor 9. The 9th Doctor, I should say, because it just goes, I know the memories that it'll bring me. But 9th onwards, love them. And in fact, I'm actually watching them through again. And I think I'm back up to the 12th Doctor now. So that's my Doctor Who story. So I made myself some Doctor Who socks. socks, which I love. Knit Picks Felici and Time Traveler, I think I said. Fish Lips Kiss Heel, 2 at a time. 1.75mm needles because I have a very loose gauge. And then I increase my stitches over the instep to 64 so I can get my feet in the socks. So they're socks number 3. And the only other thing I completed was... The only other thing I completed, and I kept these in my book bag because I made some apothecary mitts. I actually called these ABJAMMF's Leder, and these are apothecary mitts by Carolyn McPherson, I think it was. Like I said, I haven't got my notes, but I'm sure I've written it down somewhere. So the last time I had knit up to the border, and now I completed these ones. These are such a quick knit. I love them. I will change... I thought I would change stuff because I'm going to make these again. But I think I've decided I actually like how I knit these. But maybe a word of warning to you guys. So the pattern calls for 30 rounds of stockinette. I did 41. Did the pattern on the cuffs as per the pattern, but I left a thumb hole in there because I wanted to use them as mitts, because this section here, which is supposed to be the cuff bit, it came up too tight. The pattern calls for to attach the border, because you knit the border as you're going around the circle, and you attach it with slip, 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 knits. I think I might do slip, slip, knit, or I would recommend, and I actually was reading some of the notes after I finished, and a lot of people said that they did slip, slip, knits instead of slip, 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 knits, alternating, just so that so this section here wasn't tight and they could wear it as gauntlets rather than mitts. But I like how tight they've come, and I'm looking forward to wearing them this winter. We only have very few days where it's too cold to wear gloves, and so I think these will be fine, and I can always just do that if I'm really cold while I'm waiting at the station to go to work. So I love them, and the yarn that I used was Cascade 220 Heathers, and it's just a nice heathery, crimsony, purpley, maroony, winey colour, if that makes any sense. But yep, absolutely love them. These are really quick to do. I did them while watching episodes of Outlander, because I've entered these in the Knitting Broomsticks Outlander Cal, and you can knit these really quickly. And I did them with 6mm needles. Yes, I did them with 6mm as per pattern. But yeah, you can knit these really quickly. So if you've forgotten to buy a gift for someone, just go in your stash and either hold some fingering weight double or find some nice worsted, and you can make a pair of mitts for someone in a flash. And if they like Outlander, all the better, because you can say, I made them specially for you because I know you like Outlander. So, love them. Okay, so they're the only finishes that I've got, and now I've just got a few works in progress that I need to show. The first one is my Out for a Walk Bitch socks. Toe-up socks by Lisa Tomko, Sparkle Punk on Ravelry, and she has the Knit to Tog podcast on YouTube. I'm just turning the heel now, and I'm doing a Fish Lips Kiss heel because the pattern calls for a short row heel, so I'm just going to do the Fish Lips Kiss heel. So it's just some basic lace work at the moment, but it will go... The pattern will start as soon as I finish my heels. The yarn that I'm using, I just thought I'll show you that. So this is where I finished was last time I showed you guys. But the yarn that I'm using is Grey Hidden Rainbow by Juliana's Fibre. And just to show you how it looks in the ball, there is a bit of yarn bath there, but she's a Canadian dyer. She also has a podcast, and she does a lot of periscoping as well. So for your Aussie girls, I suppose for anybody really, because our dollar and the Canadian dollar are quite low at the moment, it makes it a really good deal to buy from Juliana at the moment. So I absolutely like that colour, and I've actually got some other colourways from her as well. The next one is, I was going through some of my yarns because I just wanted to make sure that I'd recorded all my yarns at the beginning of the year, and I had, but I found a whole bunch of yarns that I had dyed previously and just in small lots that I decided, well, it's time to put them to use. Because they were 8-ply, or was it DK in the US? Because they were DK and worsted, I decided, well, what am I going to do with them? And I didn't want to make hats with them, so I decided to start another blanket. So this is all I've done, another mitered square one. And for my mitered squares, I cast on 40. And I do knit 2 together, slip, slip, knit in the centre for the decrease. So this is Miss Babs in Deep Sea Yaza in Deep Sea Jellyfish. I think this is Copper Penny from, oh, I love this, Copper Penny from Misty Alpaca Tonus Worsted. This is Fathom by Madeline Tosh. It's my own hand dye, my own hand dye, my own hand dye, my own hand dye. This is a cascade that I just showed you. This is one of my favourite all-time colourways. This is Unicorn Rainbow Fight Club by Cyborg's Craft Room. This is some Motivera that we can get here in Australia from Spotlight, and this again is one of my yarn heart hand dyes. And I decided, one of the other reasons why I decided to do this is because I can also double up. Well, one, I'm just using worsted or DK, so I have no care factor if there's some lumpy bumpies, and I can double fingering weight yarn as well, so I can use some of my fingering weight yarn that way as well. With this one, I am casting on 30 stitches instead of 40 stitches and doing the same decrease that I do for my one, which I think I already told you anyway. And what I do to reduce the, what's the word? To reduce all the, you know when you have to, what's the thing? Sew in the ends. My brain is farting like there's no tomorrow. When I knit, because you cast on here, I actually knit in that tail as I'm knitting the second row, and then all I have is, for each colour I only have one yarn to sew in the end. So that's how I do my one, and that's that. And the other whip is some Hexie Puffs, and I thought I'd show you these because they are from the Gilmore Girls, see, I can't speak. The Gilmore Girls sampler mini skein set from Flock and Needle. So I don't remember all the names, but let's see. And I'm filming at night today, so I don't know how it will look with just the ambient lighting rather than natural light. But I think that one is Suki. That one is Suki. This one is Jackson. Love it. Love the pops of red. This one is Patty. They might not be exactly the same, but that's Patty. Emily. Kay. Oh my God, what was his name? You know, Kay. I can't remember it. Not Carl, Kevin, Keith. Anyway, that's him. I can't remember. I think this is Rory, Luke, I like that colourway too. I have to buy another ball of that one. I think this is Gypsy. One of these is Lorelei, and I can't remember the other one. Who's the other one? No, can't remember, but anyway. They're all beautiful. Loved it. I love knitting with it. It was nice and soft as well. So some of those I'll actually buy in a full skein now that I saw them. And I've got so much left that I can put some in my blanket and then save some for swaps with people as well, which is totally going to be fun and surprising for people. And then, what shall I talk about? I suppose yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to put on my needles next is a couple of pairs of socks. I do want to finish the shawl that I showed a few videos uploads ago, the Balsam Hollows shawl by, was it Paula Emmons-Feasley? I want to finish that in the next couple of weeks. I also am going to start the Nagini socks by the same person who did the Bellatrix socks in this colourway. And Monkey Toes by Monkey Toes. Yep, Monkey Toes did the Bellatrix socks and the Nagini socks. And they're a cabled sock, which I'm going to enjoy doing because I usually avoid cables for socks. But and that's just my little bag from... I just love them because, look, Little Red Riding Hood. That's one of my favourite fairy tales. That bag is from the Fat Squirrel. And the other socks I'm going to cast on, because so those Nagini socks are going to be for my Harry Potter Cal for inside number 23 and also the Knitting Broomstick. And again, if you haven't watched Knitting Broomstick, why haven't you? And then I'm trying to do stripy socks every month as well because I've got so many striped. And these are going to be my Jane socks. Jane Cobb from Firefly. So the colourway is called Jane socks, and the yarn is from Crazy Dog Yarns on Etsy. So it's just orange, red and yellow. And I think I couldn't decide between this grey or this grey for the toes and heels, but I think I'm going to do this grey because I do like contrasty heels. So we'll see how we go. So they're the only things I'm thinking of casting on. There's a few other things that I want to cast on, but we've got the Jane Austen cowl in May. So I want to hold off because I want to do some of the projects for that one. And onto what's come into the house. Unfortunately, more has come into the house than has left the building, but I just wanted to first show you the box that I purchased for my boxer socks cowl with Yarngasm. Don't you love it? It's so cute. It's got strawberries and birds and things, and I'll put some of my socks in there just as incentive, but they're not all the ones that I've knitted this year, so don't be afraid. I'm not like see, I can't remember anybody's name. The Knitting Expat. I'm still, oh my God. Every time I think about how many socks she knit in January, like, I can't get over it. It's always in my head. Every time I knit, it's always in my head. How did she do it? OMG, I wish I could knit that fast. But anyway, these are all my purchases. All the acquisitions. I know. But firstly, I'll just show you some stuff that I did. I had a whole bunch of white and grey yarn, so I've just dyed up a whole bunch of different colours. I just separated them all. I had acid dyes so I can do them for my Hexie Puffs and also for my blankets. I'm happy with them. So I'll add them to the lot of mini skeins that I have. And speaking of the Jane Austen, how am I going to do this? Okay, I'll do it this way. So I purchased some bags from 55 is Not Old on Instagram. So you need to contact him through Instagram. He put some bags up and I said, oh, could I have, I'd like to purchase them. So the first bag I bought was this one with an octopus and a whale and a turtle. But I like to say tortoise, like Scottish people, tortoise. But, and it's got a stingray or a manatee, I don't know, what's that called? But love it. And the other bag, because I wanted it, because I've got the fireman I needed to add the cowboys to the collection, the hunky guys. So I got that. And then I wanted this bag. But he ended up giving this to me. He said, oh, look, you don't have to pay for this one. I'm just going to give it to you. So I've decided to put this towards the Jane Austen knit along in May. So May is my birthday month. So I'm just loving the fact that we're doing Jane Austen because I love her books. My favourite is Persuasion. But I thought that was cool because I think the pictures sort of, you know, you got sort of like one of the manor houses. I'm sure it's American, who knows. But like you got the boots as well. And then I also contacted Janet from Crazy Dog Yarns and I asked her to dye some yarn up for me, and I said, just dye them up and I want them based on this, and I don't care what you do, carte blanche, you're the colour queen and dyer. I'm not going to wreck your designing mind. So I said, can you base them on Friedrich and Anne, preferably on the 1995 movie? Was it 1995 or 1997? I can't remember, but if you guys haven't watched that movie, you need to. It's probably not as bright and cheerful as most of the Hollywood type productions, but all I can say is when you're watching it, that part when he slips the note on the table, the whole audience went but in a good way, and if you watch it you'll know exactly what I mean, and if I can find it on YouTube I'll put a link down below. So these are the colours that she came up with. So this is I've got his name for the moment, Frederick Wentworth. I'm assuming this is self-striping, I don't know, but I love it. And it's got black and tan and blue and undyed. And then this is Anne Elliot. So I thought because these two go together, I thought I'll have them as my giveaway for the month of May. And then I asked her to also, she had like a mini skein adventy thing for Christmas, and I said, can you dye me up those? So I just got a whole bunch of mini skeins there. So I think there's 24 in all, and some of the colours I recognise from my website. So I'm looking forward to knitting them up in my Hexie Puffs and also my Blancotte. So that's that. Next, what can I say? Etsy's really bad, especially like I've got the Etsy app. So, you know, you go there and it says, we think you might like this yarn. We may think you might like this item. So clicked on it and I discovered this, I'm assuming, new dyer called Viking. Obviously hand dyed yarns, so I put in an order. These are all 100% British wool, and the first colour is Valhalla. I'm a big fan of Vikings. I love Lagatha. I think she is, I have a girl crush on her. I love that, and I'm going to be doing that for the Vikings cowl with the knitting broomstick. And then this one is called Sweet Dreams, and I can't stop singing the song every time I see it. Just beautiful, like purpley, soft, muted. Oh, love it. And this one I got because in my head it's a bit Doctor Who, and also because of who it's named after, Van Gogh. Love it. I just love all the colours in this one. It's just beautiful. Can't wait to see how that one knits up. So I purchased those. We're still going. Oh, and then I did a swap with Jilly from the Knitting Broomstick. And when I opened the package, I just felt so guilty because she just sent me the best stuff ever. And obviously I had, you know, hospital brain. I should have, you know, anyway. Anybody who's waiting for a package for me, if I promised you something else, you will be getting it. It's just, let this month calm down a bit with my dad. So she sent me a whole bunch of teas. I'm not going to go through them, but I love tea. So my favourite store is tea too. She sent me some stickers, which I'm happily putting my Kiki K planner. And then just the best mini skeins ever, because I know for a fact that a lot of these I've never used before, and I can never get the colours that I want. Like, I think that one looks like No Makers. This, I think this might be Vine. I never ever can get through to her updates. All I want is Enjoy the Silence, because I'm assuming she's named it after the song from Depeche Mode. And I want Love Song, which I think this might be it, because I'm a fan of The Cure. And then Stella Banshee. Like, is it too hard to ask? But just lovely. Oh, look at that one. Look at that one. That looks like Outlander. I should gotta ask her. But just, anyway, love them. Over the moon about them. But then she sent me this bag. And this is from Madbird. And I love it. It's just so well made. So well made. I mean, I've purchased a lot of bags. But this is, I think, puts a lot of people to shame. It's so beautiful. Like, you could reverse it and it just, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, you wouldn't be ashamed to carry it that way. You wouldn't say, oh, you've got it around the wrong way, you know, it's ugly, whatever. It's so well made. I'm going to have to buy some more during birthday month, because I've purchased too much and I'm trying to resist for April. But it sort of matches like my Kiki K diary. Love it. That's not more, guys. There's more to go. What else have we got? Then I put an order with Skein Yarn, and she had an update, and I wanted to get my hands on some top drawer sock, because I just think top drawer sock is probably one of the softest yarns I've ever held in my hand that's supposed to be a sock yarn. So I'll first show you this one. This one is called Wishing Well, and this is her MCN base. And because it's evening, I don't think you can get the full colours. So it's mainly grey, but like a browny grey, and just lovely colours. And these are the top drawer socks, and this is pixelated. Don't you just love it? And this is neon and grey. But if I touch this and touch this, you can almost not tell the difference. Almost. And I'm sure that if I didn't know what they were and I was doing a blind test, I actually wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But yeah, so I just bought those, and there's a bit of a theme going. But I always feel that I buy things that are too bright. So I thought if I bought bright, but they were sort of on a neutral base, this would be good. I love smelling yarn. And then you guys know I like Miss Click Clack. I think she's awesome, and she has a stall at the Handmade Show every month, and so there was a big meet-up with everybody, and I was actually hoping to interview her a bit. I was sort of in between visits, so I had a bit of respite from the hospital, and I went there and I knit for an hour or so, and then I went off to the hospital to see Dad, and so in that time I was just busy and I wasn't going to take her away from other people, but I hope to interview her one day, because I'm sure her story is very interesting. So I went to her stall, and she actually held two for me, because I had said to her, hopefully I'm going to come. So thankfully she did hold them for me, and then I purchased some too. She's Miss Ohio on Ravelry, but she does have a Miss Click Clack group, and she's Miss Click Clack on Instagram. So the first one was that I asked her to hold is this. It's TARDIS Blue, because I asked her if she has TARDIS Blue. It's called Exterminate. But I wanted to, I don't think I ever showed you guys, but I was doing the Bow Ties Are Cool Mystery Cowl, and I actually dyed up 2 yarns to use with it, and as I was knitting, I'm going, this isn't doing it for me, and I found 2 yarns in my stash that I felt, because I wanted it to be based on the 11th Doctor. So I found 2 yarns that I found in my stash, but I wanted a blue because somebody had done one. Basically, she knit what I visualised in my head. So I've told her that I'm totally going to copy what she's done, and she said go for it. So I needed a blue, and I wanted TARDIS blue, so she brought that along for me. And then she posted this one on her Instagram, and of course I had to have it because of the colour. And the colour is Shimamura, and this is a Merry Creek base. All of these that I purchased were Merry Creek, but it's got speckles, it's got lime, it's got mint. Just love it. I bought 2 of her mini skeins. These have no names, but I thought that was cool. So I thought I'd add them to my blankets, and then rest for swaps. And I bought a nice green because green is the best colour in the world. I know. And then I saw this and I quickly grabbed it before anybody else did. This is again in the Merry Creek, and this is called Dappled Pony. How cool is that? Love it. There's even some bits of blue. I'm assuming where colours broke, maybe. I don't know. But I just love it. It's so cool. So it's just on a bare base. I'm looking forward to making something with that. I can't work out what. Maybe socks. And then lastly, I got this in her Darling Road DK base, which is Superwash Merino. And this is in her Semifredo. It just reminds me of that type of ice cream. I love the little speckles in it. I'm going to make a hat out of it, and I can't wait. And that's it. So more ins than outs for March, unfortunately, but I loved it. I loved every moment of all the yarns that have come into my life. There was a lot of retail therapy, obviously, but what can I say? That's what we do. And so there probably won't be much for April in the sense of purchasing, because I just want to hold off and buy everything for my birthday months. A lot of people have birthday month at the beginning of the month and it ends at the end of the month that they're born. My theory of birthday month is that it starts on the day of your birthday. It goes for a month. But because my one's at the end of the month, I just have 2 months of birthday month. So it's May, June. It's awesome. If you can do it that way, go for it. So if you're towards the end of the month, just say, it's still birthday month. It's still birthday month because it's the month from the day I started. So the day I was born. That's my theory. So that's why I have 2 birthdays. And I'm just trying to look around if I need to show you guys anything else. Every episode, there's always something that I forget to mention. Actually, I'll talk to you about a couple of podcasts that I love. And these are podcasts that you listen to. I've got an iPhone, so I listen to them through listen to them through iTunes. The first one is The Stuff You Missed in History Class. I really so these are non-knitting ones. I love listening to that podcast. Some of them are like 10 minutes long, some of them are like 40 minutes long, and it's just really interesting stuff about how does this do, what happened there, and you know, Mary Queen of Scots and Queen Elizabeth I, and just fantastic stuff. And they had one recently for knitting, and I posted that on my Instagram, so check it out. It was really, really interesting. And the other one that I'm really enjoying is the X-Files file. So this is for your X-Files fans. I listened to it from probably, I've listened to every episode, but I started listening probably about 3 episodes in, and obviously I've listened backwards, and it's I listened to the first 3 as well. But it was so interesting in the first few episodes, this is what I'm going to do, and you know, I'm a big fan of X-Files or whatever, and see him progress every episode. And yes, he talks about X-Files episodes, and I don't always agree with what he's saying about what's happened in the episode or whatever, but love listening to it, love listening to someone who really enjoys the show. And, you know, he's talking about it, and then he starts getting the writers in and the director in, and he's even had David Duchovny on, and apparently he's listened to some of the episodes, and Gillian Anderson. And then, you know, you see this, and then suddenly they make 6 episodes of X-Files. Suddenly, he's in an episode of X-Files. How awesome would that be? Like, I'd love to... even if it wasn't X-Files, if it was Supernatural, I'd love to be like a hunter, but that doesn't die. That probably goes in once every season and is just kick-ass and gives shit to Dean and Sam and just kills demons, and that would be awesome. But I can't act. So, anyway... Or I'd love to be some cool alien on Doctor Who, or I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, so they're the two podcasts. I'll probably talk about other podcasts every episode as well, just some different stuff to watch. If I remember, I will link the Pride and Prejudice movie on YouTube down below as well. And that's about it, guys. That's all. Don't forget to post your finished or frogged items in the cowl. I'm giving away a bag and a pattern, but so I'm giving away a bag from Knit and Stitch Bits and a pattern to someone, and then I'll have another pattern to give to someone as well. So there'll be 2 patterns, but you know, 2 lots of prizes, bag and pattern, plus another one that's pattern up to the value of $6 US. That's it, guys. That's pretty much all that I have today. As per usual, I always feel rushed. I don't know why I feel rushed. I have no idea where my notes are. That's stressing me out. Hopefully I'll be a bit more planned next time. We'll see how we go. Hopefully I'll have some cross stitch as well. We'll see, but because I'm not doing, you know, if I come home late at night, cross stitch is the last thing on my mind, and I sort of don't cross stitch in the wild because I need magnifying glasses and I need extra light and, you know, the things you do for something that you enjoy doing. But anyway, that's it, guys. That's all it is. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sitting here and spending some of your time with me. I really, really, really do appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe here. It's free. Join the Ravelry group so you can win lovely prizes. Say hello on Ravelry. Follow me on Instagram, whatever. It's up to you. I'm free and easy in the sense that you do what you need to do. Follow you bliss. Okay, take care, guys. Ciao.